It was supposed to be the best summer of her life. 18 years old, a fresh high school graduate, a volleyball star, college just around the corner. But on a warm July night in 2015, Tiffany Valiante's life ended on a set of train tracks in rural New Jersey. Police said suicide. Her family said impossible. No shoes, a missing phone, strange injuries, and a crime scene that raised more questions than answers. So the question is, was Tiffany's death really her choice? Or did someone want her silenced? The explanation came fast. Too fast. Within hours, investigators ruled it a suicide. Case closed. But her family, they never believed it. Not for a second. They remembered a girl full of life, afraid of the dark, a girl who never walked barefoot. And yet, the night she died, she was barefoot, her belongings scattered, her phone broken, her future gone. So how does a case with this many red flags get shut down so quickly? That's the mystery. And that's why, nearly a decade later, Tiffany's death remains one of New Jersey's darkest unsolved cases. So sit back, turn the lights low, and let's uncover the story of Tiffany Valiante, a girl who had everything to live for. To understand the mystery, we first need to understand Tiffany. Because Tiffany Valiante was not just another teenager. She was special. She was determined. And she was loved. Tiffany grew up in Mays Landing, New Jersey. A quiet town. The kind of place where neighbors wave. Where everyone knows your name. Her parents, Diane and Stephen, raised her with love. And Tiffany, she stood out. Tall, athletic, powerful on the volleyball court. By senior year, she wasn't just playing. She was dominating. Friends called her funny, caring, the life of the group. Her coaches saw discipline, hard work, potential beyond high school. Her family, they saw her as their rock, the dependable one, the one always smiling. This was a girl with plans. She had already committed to Mercy College in New York. A scholarship was waiting. Her future was mapped out. And that summer of 2015, her world was filled with celebration. Graduation parties, family gatherings, endless talk of the future ahead. And that's what makes this story so haunting. Not just the way she died, but the way she lived. Because Tiffany had no history of depression, no history of self-harm, no signs of running away. She was a planner, a dreamer, a doer. And to her family, that's why the official story never made sense. Because Tiffany had everything to live for. On July 12, 2015, Tiffany went to a graduation party. A warm summer night. Music, laughter, teenagers celebrating the end of high school. But as the night went on, tensions rose. At some point, Tiffany argued with her parents about a newly opened credit card. It was a small family dispute. Nothing unusual. But Tiffany walked away. And she never came back. She left barefoot. No shoes on her feet. For most people, maybe nothing. But for Tiffany, it was alarming. She never walked barefoot. Not outside. Not even at home. Her parents remembered. She hated being without shoes. Even in the yard, she wore them. So why, on this night, was Tiffany barefoot and walking into the woods? That question has never been answered. Around 11 p.m., a New Jersey transit train struck Tiffany, near mile marker 45.3. The conductor said he saw her standing on the tracks. By the time he hit the brakes, it was too late. And just like that, Tiffany was gone. A future erased. A family shattered. A mystery born. But here's the chilling part. From the very beginning, the investigation was rushed. Evidence overlooked. And by sunrise, her death was ruled a suicide. For her family, it was like losing her twice. Once to the train, and once to the system. Because the Tiffany they knew would never have taken her own life. Her mother begged investigators, "Please, look deeper. This isn't right." Her father walked the tracks himself, and there, he found things police had missed. Shoes, a headband, pieces of Tiffany's life, left behind. And in that moment, one truth became clear. The answers about Tiffany's death would not come from investigators. They would have to come from the family's fight for justice. July 12, 2015. A summer night in Mays Landing. Tiffany had just graduated. She had her whole future ahead of her. That evening, she went to a graduation party. Friends, music, a night of laughter. Nothing unusual, nothing out of place. But as the night went on, a small argument changed everything. A credit card, a family dispute, words exchanged. And then, Tiffany walked out. No shoes, no bag, just walked into the night. Her parents thought she needed air, time to cool off. But Tiffany never walked barefoot. Ever. Neighbors remembered seeing her, barefoot, heading toward the woods. Confused, upset. And then, she was gone. Hours passed. Her family thought she'd return. But around 11 p.m., a train conductor reported something chilling. At mile marker 45.3, he saw a figure on the tracks. Tall, still, not moving. By the time he hit the brakes, it was too late. The train struck Tiffany. Almost immediately, investigators ruled it suicide. Case closed. But nothing else about that night made sense. Let's start with her shoes. She never walked without them. Yet that night, they were found in the woods, far from the tracks. Then her headband, discarded, not near her body. Her cell phone, missing, later recovered, damaged, cracked. And the darkness. Tiffany hated it. Wouldn't step outside at night alone. So why, on this night, did she walk barefoot for miles into pitch-black woods? It didn't add up. Her injuries raised questions too. Some bruises didn't match. Experts wondered if she was unconscious before the train ever hit. Could she have been attacked, knocked out, placed on the tracks? And what about the timeline? From the party to the train, there were gaps. Where did she go? Who did she meet? What really happened in those missing hours? No one knows. And investigators never asked. Authorities were firm. Suicide. Case closed. But Tiffany's parents, they refused to accept it. Her mother, she would never do this. Her father, something's wrong. This doesn't fit. They searched the tracks themselves. They found evidence police ignored. So they fought back. They hired experts. They filed lawsuits. They kept Tiffany's story alive. Independent experts agreed. Some injuries didn't match suicide. Some evidence suggested foul play. And in 2020, Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries brought Tiffany's case to the world. Millions saw the story. Millions asked the same question. If Tiffany didn't take her own life, then what really happened? Theory 1. Suicide. The official ruling. But no history. No note. No motive. Her family says no. Theory 2. Accident. Maybe she wandered in the dark, stumbled onto the tracks. But Tiffany hated the dark. She wouldn't walk barefoot through miles of woods. And why was her phone smashed? Why were her belongings scattered? Doesn't add up. Theory 3. Foul play. The theory her family believes. That she was not alone. That she was followed. Or lured. Or forced. Her shoes and headband, lost in a struggle. Her phone, destroyed to hide evidence. And Tiffany, placed on the tracks. Incapacitated. Helpless. By the time the train arrived, she never stood a chance. Experts say it's possible. Her family believes it's true. But authorities, they won't reopen the case. And so the ruling stands. Suicide. Nearly a decade later, her parents still fight. They want answers. They want truth. They want justice. Because Tiffany wasn't just a case. She was a daughter, a friend, a teammate, a young woman with dreams. She deserved her future. She deserved answers. She deserved more than a rushed ruling. And so, her story lives on. But the questions remain. Why barefoot? Why the broken phone? Why the scattered belongings? Why the rush to suicide? Until those questions are answered, the mystery of Tiffany Valiante will never rest. So what do you believe? Suicide, accident, or foul play? Until the truth is revealed, this case remains unsolved. If Tiffany's story moved you, don't let it end here. Share her name. Share her story. Keep her memory alive. And if you want more mysteries like this, cases that demand answers, stories that cry out for justice, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss when we dive deep into the unsolved. This was the story of Tiffany Valiante, an 18-year-old girl whose life ended too soon and whose truth is still waiting to be found.